Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Sag, I hope you're doing well. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The overall energy from the Heart Path Oracle, and this new deck that I just got for your tarot reading, the Urban Tarot deck. Cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Sagittarius. Whoa. Thank you, Spirit. Self-protection. Setting boundaries. Very interesting. Self-protection, setting boundaries. So, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken, I don't think I am. I think these are armadillo. Kind of, pretty sure they're armadillo. And what was so interesting was that I bought this deck when I was in Austin, Texas for the first time ever. And they really love their armadillos down there. So you might be from Texas or have Texas roots or some tie to Texas. But it feels very geographical for some reason. It's almost like there's purpose in place, in the place, in a place, how things are placed. Interesting, though, that the message is setting boundaries. Could there have been a situation right now where you are feeling on the defense? An armadillo has kind of a rough exterior and a hard shell, and kind of curls up in a ball to make itself as inconspicuous as possible, which is not very like Sagittarius. I am a Sagittarius rising, so I really love my Sages, but Sagittarius is, I wouldn't say that you need to be the center of attention by any means. It's more of a, no offense if any Leos are watching, but that's more of a Leo thing. But Sagittarians are not quiet, and they don't purposefully relegate themselves to the background. Right? So if there's something where you feel you're feeling rather insular right now, it's significant, it's notable, and Spirit wants me to note it here. That rosebud is rather striking to me. Aries got a rose in their reading as well, but it had quite a different meaning. It's almost as if everything is being closed up. Just like the armadillo is closing up on itself, this rosebud has not bloomed. So everything is closed up. It's almost like I'm waiting for this singular eye to close. I'm waiting for it to shut. I'm waiting for that ladybug in the middle there to close its wings. It's all about protection. And Spirit wants me to say, though, just be mindful of how much you are closing yourself off to the world. That could be relevant because you don't want to kind of get lost forever in this maze of branches. I just see a lot of blending into the background, and it's really contrary to a Sagittarian energy. Blending into the background. So there's something to it, like there's a tension there. I feel a tension for you. I don't want to go so far. Spirit said the word betrayal, but I don't actually want to go that far. Like, I don't think it's like you betraying yourself. Maybe you think that you're betraying yourself, but it's you compromising in a way that doesn't sit right. Like maybe like if you're in a boardroom, you're in a big meeting, and maybe you said something controversial the last time, and so this time in this meeting, you're going to kind of retreat into the background, even though you don't want to. Something like that. Could be with in-laws, right? Your significant other's parents, where there's something going down and you really want to say something, but you just know that for some reason you need to keep the peace. Something like that. So I'm going to get 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, and future. And perhaps at the end, if I feel like I need to, I will get a card of advice from Spirit. Interesting. There's several cards here. I did pre-shuffle. You had some similar cards to Aries. So if you have Aries in your chart, you might want to watch that reading. In the past energy, you have the Empress card in the reverse. It's the Empress card. Number 3 in the Major Arcana, the power of all 4 queens, the ultimate divine feminine. Talks about being the master attractor, somebody who is a creator, but radiates warmth and love and abundance. So much so that it kind of, her vibration kind of boomerangs back to her, and whatever she puts out in the world, she gets back. So she's putting out love and light and prosperity, abundance. She's going to get that back. You got this card in the reverse in your past energy. So I don't like it when when people aren't sitting in their Empress energy, because I believe that we should all sit in our Empress energy. But it's clarified by the High Priestess. Number 2 in the Major Arcana. So 2 and 3 right next to each other. You got several Major Arcanas in your reading. Your 4 Major Arcanas. There are only 6 cards on the table so far. The High Priestess, Pisces, Empress is Taurus and Libra. The High Priestess sits at the veil between worlds. She's the psychic of the tarot. She's all-knowing, all-seeing, traditionally mute. She doesn't say very much, right? Here's that not saying very much impulse, or not impulse, but reaction that I am picking up on. Not saying very much, but knowing all, seeing all, intuiting, and just really having to subdue something within ourselves for the greater good, to keep the peace. Why are we subduing things, Spirit? This is past energy. Death in the Tower. Wow. Number 13 and number 16. 2 more Major Arcana. I don't know what Sagittarius I'm talking to right now, but your spirit guides are like really in the sauce right now. Like they're really, really beside you, because Major Arcanas are they're just dropping everywhere in your reading. The Death card talks about endings bringing new beginnings, and that Tower is something that could spawn endings. The Tower is the energy that brings something down that was going to come down anyway. It's this shock and awe and surprise, and Spirit brings this in. So this is in your past energy, so this Tower has already happened. I don't know, maybe you found out something like scandalous. You got the tea. It's just like it shook the family. It rocked the family to their core. Like, I don't know what this is. but it's already happened. And it brought about an ending. And so now we're just kind of laying low and just trying to regain our, regain our footing. Interesting here too, right? This is the Urban Tarot. See this hand right here? It's holding the torch, the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is referenced here. Underwater. It's like up. It's apocalyptic is what I was going to say. That was a little unnecessary. People need to calm down. I don't know. You know, all of these things are because somebody's trying to make a left turn where they shouldn't be making a left turn. That's what it's all about. Why people have to honk like that, I don't know. But Spirit is bringing that disruption into your reading, just like this was a disruption to the status quo. Maybe it was overly dramatic. I can see a Sagittarius being like, did we have to be so dramatic about all this? Everybody needs to calm down. Right? Why do I see Sag saying that? Because I would say that. Everybody needs to calm down. And in your present energy, I mean, finally we're going to get back to ourselves, because here's the Temperance, number 14, the Major Arcana, Sagittarius energy. Really beautiful. You showed up in your own reading. So all of this mess is in the recent past. Mess is what it feels like. Closing out cycles, bringing things to an end that need to collapse, kind of laying low. And now in the present energy, it's like, okay, Sag, are you starting to like come back to yourself? And are you starting to come back to yourself because you've put up these very firm boundaries, which is great. But Knight of Cups in the reverse to clarify that, the seducer. Knight of Cups is somebody who typically brings in authentic gestures of love, authentic messages. And this card is in reverse. So it's almost like telling me, like, you're this knight, right? And it's almost like telling me that, like, you're not interested in putting on a facade, speaking untruths. You may not want to stir the pot, but you're also not going to light the flame. Does that make sense? Wait, that was a weird way of putting it. It made sense in my head. You're not interested in causing a ruckus, but in order to do so, you kind of have to hold back your love energy, because otherwise it's just going to come out as that blunt truth that Sagittarians are known for. Blunt truth. So instead, it's almost like I see you over here in your corner trying to make the best out of a messy situation. Create something beautiful from it. I almost want to say distracting. Causing a distraction. Are you the transmuter of your family or your community, your friendship group? Are you the one that kind of smooths things over with your amazing wit? Because let's face it, you have an amazing wit because you're so smart. Let's get a clarifier for the Knight of Cups in reverse, please. The Star card in reverse. Yeah, like no one was getting what they wanted out of this situation. And there's still healing that has yet to be done. Again, another Major Arcana. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Major Arcana so far. Oh my God. There's so many. big, big energies. You know what it tells me? That whatever happened in this past energy, it was destined. It was gonna happen. And it was almost like Spirit just needed for like the least amount of casualties. And somehow you are privy to all that. Like, you can see what's going down. Or perhaps you could have seen it the whole time. It was like the red flags were everywhere. The red flags were everywhere. Why couldn't the rest of you see it? So this is just in the present energy. Everybody's just trying to chill out and heal. In the future potential, Queen of Swords, Libra energy. This is the Painter. In the Aries reading, the Painter and the art card, the Temperance card, came out together. Right? They look like a beautiful pair, don't they? The Painter and the art card. The Queen of Swords in the future potential. You're really, Spirit wanted me to say, getting down to brass tacks. Getting down to brass tacks. I don't know. Maybe that's something you all say. The heart of the matter. And when I said the heart of the matter, it made me think of that Don Henley song called The Heart of the Matter. Been trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak and my thoughts seem to scatter, but I'm thinking about forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore. That's a good song. Forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore. What's that about, Spirit? You see the Painter and then you think painting a picture. Gotta be careful with that. It's one step away from painting a narrative, right? Gotta be careful with that. Always stand in your integrity, Spirit wants me to say. It's clarified by another major arcana, number 9, the Hermit, Virgo energy. The Hermit is somebody who goes through the dark night of the soul. What does that mean? It means that we're looking at our traumas and our hang-ups and our divisive actions, our addictions, right? We're looking at all the things that hold us back from our spiritual ascension, and we're overcoming those things. The star, the light from the star lights the way for the Hermit. So these two cards make a beautiful pair when they show up in a reading together. Even though this card was in reverse, it just shows me that, Sag, you're on the right track. There's a very specific kind of progression I see. The first one was the High Priestess to the Empress, which sit right next to each other in the major arcana. Then the Death card to the Tower, which are very close to each other. Temperance, coming back into your own sign, into your own self. And then the Star and the Hermit. And even the Painter and the art. There's so, like, as a reader, there's just so many synchronicities here. You can't ignore them. I can't ignore them. So, but what it shows me is that there's a beautiful coalescence, convergence happening in your reading. Can I get a clarifier for the Hermit, please? Knight of Discs, or Knight of Pentacles, is the King of Pentacles. Sorry, also the Knight of Cups, King of Cups. In this deck, the Knights are the Kings. Sorry, I know it's confusing, but I don't know why they did it, but that's how it is. The Gourmet Chef and the Nine of Swords, Cruelty. So You know, this is kind of saying to me that there was a... I don't actually see this as your energy. I see this as what you're witnessing. That there was a spirit saying pride before the fall. I mean, this could be your energy, but I don't really... I feel as though this is what you're... like the lesson that you're learning. Pride before the fall. Like maybe there was some divine masculine that took a hit. That they... I don't know, that there was something that came out about some divine masculine energy. It could be a woman with the strong divine masculine energy. But something happened that caused a lot of sleepless nights and anxiety. 9 of Swords. Pride before the fall. And it's causing you to go into hermit mode, to like really kind of assess where you stand relative to this situation. When I said relative, could be relative. Can we get a card of advice for Spirit, please? Three cards came out. The Princess of Wands in reverse, the Hierophant, and the Ace of Wands. This is the Princess of Wands, the dancer. She's kind of doing that thing with the fire. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous, very weirdly seductive card. Right? But it's in reverse. So it's kind of like Spirit is saying, whoa there, Sag. We're just gonna hold our horses for a little bit and wait for Spirit to, the universe to advise us on our next big move. Because remember I showed you the torch from the Statue of Liberty? Here it is again, renewed. Aces bring new from Spirit. It's all about potentiality. The potential for some great new passionate endeavor. But it's coupled with the Hierophant, right? The Pope of the Tarot, the teacher. Saturn energy, just like really strict. So before we get carried away with ourselves, and we're not going to get carried away with ourselves, Spirit is saying, they literally just said, mind your P's and Q's. I don't know what Sag I'm talking to, but maybe there's this impulse to kind of get into the mix of everything, and you're doing your level best. You're doing your level best to set boundaries. Just like, no, like it is full of drama, and I just have to lay low, get my wits about me, come back to return to my own self and my own integrity, my own peace, and wait for this signal from Spirit to then move forward from it. Let me know how it goes, Sag. That's your reading. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Your spirit guides are ringing my left ear, so I think I hit something, the nail on the head. Comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Sag.